So everyone, I'm going to teach you how to fix a problem with a stupid fucking company. You see, you hit that, you go to delete, you delete a stupid pay-per-view, you hit yes, then you go to your recycle bin, right click, empty recycle bin, hit yes. And there you go. Now on with the review. NWS guys, Cody here. I guess you can tell I'm tired. And I was gonna sugarcoat it and just say Slammiversary was a great pay-per-view and then troll you guys completely. That's not worth my fucking time, no. And now, because I watched the pay-per-view, watched all the matches, watched all the outcomes, saw good things, saw bad things, way more bad things than good things, but let's get on to the good things first. One of the good things that was there was TNA was the first one before WWE to pay tribute to the victims of Orlando. The incident that happened where 50 got killed and 53 got wounded. That's very, very, very respectful for them to do that. A nice way to open off Impact from Orlando. Not surprised because Orlando is the home of TNA Impact. What do you expect? So let's get on to the opening match. We had a fatal four-way matchup for the X Division Championship. We had Trevor Lee, defending champion, versus Andrew Everett, versus Eddie Edwards, versus DJZ. Now before the match, Gregory Shane Helms got banned from ringside. And what is a good call because, you gotta have a decent match. You can't have managers get involved, right? The opening of the match was Eddie Edwards and DJZ giving baseball slides to both Andrew Everett and former champion Trevor Lee at the time. The match went on for felt like 20 minutes. It was a real good match. I really enjoyed it. A lot of high spots. Everything flowed really well together. A couple little nitpicks. Couple of highlights first. The corkscrew by Andrew Everett, springboard to the outside, very, very great. The rolling flip by Zima to the double stomp by Trevor Lee, that was a good spot as well. Really good match. Just these four can perform together really, really good. However, I have a complaint with the ending. Just a little bit. Why end on the roll-up? I mean, that just proves that Eddie Edwards won by a fluke. I mean, we don't know what his partner Davey Richards is up to. We don't know if he's going to come back or not because obviously he's dealing with the baby that Angelina Love gave birth to that he is the father of for obvious reasons. So Eddie Edwards getting this little bit of a singles push. Just a slight singles push. But good for Eddie Edwards to win in the X Division Championship. Great win. It was a great match overall. Tag team match. The Tribunal or whatever against Shira and Grado. This match confused the fuck out of me because at times I didn't even know who the fuck was the face, who the fuck were the heels. Well, obviously Grado and Shira were their faces, and the Tribunal or the heels who got the win in this match. The faces did a lot of heelish stuff, like when Shira was getting beaten down, Grado came in and beat both of them up and then dragged Shira to his corner and then tacked himself in. That's not something a face would do. That is a heel thing to do. But whatever, at the end of the day, the Tribunal got the win in a boring match. It also cried as if he'd won a world title finally. That happens, I don't know. Next, if I recall, it was the Knockouts Championship match. It was going to be Gail Kim and Maria in the singles match. They did a promo package for a match that did not happen. Pointless. When you could put more time in the matches, you did a pointless little segment promo deal, whatever you want to call it, promo build-up. And the promo package is all up too much. Too much, man. Honestly, highlights of every single solitary thing. With WWE's, now this is just a little bit slight comparison. I'm not going to do too much comparison or any of that. The WWE, when they do promo packages, they have them like 2 minutes, but not like full on like most clips of like every single thing. No, TNA have like 5-minute promo packages deals, which, I mean, I get you trying to tell a story, but come on, like, you can tell a story in like 2 minutes with all the stuff that you had built up, you know? You don't have to do like crazy 5 minutes and all that stuff. You don't need that. But it ended up being a triple threat match. Okay, Sienna's supposed to be like an Awesome Kong in a sense. Like, not really. She's a bit lighter than Awesome Kong, but she's supposed to be like Awesome Kong or another version of Havoc or some form of this, something like that. You get my drift. Like a Beth Phoenix. More or less like a Beth Phoenix, because Beth Phoenix can get picked up off the ground. Just not a lot of people did it. And Sienna, if she's supposed to be a powerhouse, right? And you're doing like a tornado DDT. Elida Diva's supposed to do tornado DDT. Let me show you. Let me show you for a second. Let's say I'm like 100 pounds. This is like what, 10 pounds. DDT. No, I'm gonna power out of it. And they didn't make Sienna look that strong, and she's the new Knockouts champion. Let me talk about that in a little bit. What should have happened is should have been like, yep, dumb. Then maybe a kick in the stomach, and then like second rope tornado DDT. Maybe after that, and then the Hurricane Rana. You know, powerhouse. Don't let it happen. Like if there's a little bit of a struggle, and then it happens, then I can understand that. The end result was, whatever the fuck that sister's name is, I don't even fucking care anymore. And oh my god, she's so goddamn annoying. Worse than Maurice. Her voice, she's a hot blonde. She's a hot blonde, don't get me wrong. But, god, that voice made my teeth cringe. Oh my god. It made my teeth cringe. I'm just like, that's her role, being an annoying assistant, and she's doing a good job at that. The match ended. Marty Bell came in, and Sienna was gonna hit her with the bell, and then Marty Bell was like, "Oh, nope, boop." The quick turn, like how quickly they did it, had the potential to be unpredictable, but however, to me, I'm just like, well, she hasn't been in the dollhouse. Of course, Marty Bell's gonna betray her. And then it happened, and then Sienna won the Knockouts title. And why? Like, Jade didn't even win it that long ago, from what I understand. Jade didn't even win it that long ago, and now you're giving it to Sienna. It makes Jade look incredibly weak. And I've looked at Jade's work in the independent circuit, and she's a great wrestler. She is a great wrestler, along with Gail Kim. Two fantastic wrestlers, and then you have one of those women that can wrestle with the males, you know? Like, wrestle like males, and that just turns to an underdog deal, which, well, fine and good, you know, that's fine, you can do whatever, but still. Anyway, next was James Storm against, Burn Sutters, or, sorry if I butchered the guy's name. This is one-sided. It was one-sided. Storm took the shovel and just buried the guy. Storm giving the guy a chance and all, that's fine and good. I like James Storm, you know, I like the guy. Byron Sutters, you know, I don't know the guy. All I know is that he got a good win on his debut. I mean, but why make him lose so early? Like, I know James Storm has had a history of doing this at Slammiversary. He did it to Crimson, and he is on a beat streak. But that kind of made a little bit sense because Crimson was a heel, and he was talking all shit, and then Storm just like, super kick. What? Your streak's over. Okay, I'm gonna have a beer. You know? And that was fine, you know, whatever, but this was one-sided, dude. Like, honestly, it was one-sided and Storm won. It wasn't even that good of a match. And then, like, even if they would have had Sutter turn heel, I would have been slightly interested. But no, nothing happened. I mean, I mean, I like seeing good sportsmanship and all. That's all fine and dandy, but unless you're going to continue this to go to Bound for Glory and then build up for the win, then I can understand that. But I didn't like it. I don't know. Mike Bennett versus EC3. This match was okay. Like, I'll talk about the commentary team because, like, really here is where they started to get on my nerves a bit. There was just stuff that they called, like, wrong. Like, moves they called wrong. They weren't even talking about the match half of the time. And who doesn't talk about the match half of the time? WWE and commentators. So I don't want to hear more shit when they say, oh, WWE don't call the matches. Guess what? TNA does the exact same thing, buddies. They've done the exact same thing. They do the exact same thing. So, yeah. Don't come to me with that crap anymore. In the sense that WWE is the only promotion that does that. Don't come to me with that. Because I'll be like, hello, Slammiversary. Right over here. Just pay attention to the commentary. Don't look at the matches. The matches all pretty much sucked. But, they tried, you know, I'll give them both credit. I like both guys, EC3 and Mike Bennett. But, there's something that they tried to go for that they did not do good at all. Disappointed, and I had faith. I had faith in 2 or 3 matches. Maybe 4. Well, 3, kind of 4. X Division match I had faith in because I knew like the X Divisions always perform good. They delivered. Mike Bennett EC3. I had faith in that. Kinda let me down, man. Kinda let me down a little bit. And no, it's not because, oh, I was tired. No, I was awake. I was wide awake for the pay-per-view, and the pay-per-view was putting me to sleep. Sorry. But, next match I'll talk about in a minute. I mean, Mike Bennett EC3, is it the worst match ever? No, it's not the worst match ever. It's just, it's kind of disappointing. Now, here's probably the biggest disappointment of the night. I had told Scott, Casey Gale, and others that, hey, you know what? I'll give the Hardy Boys a chance because they can perform good matches. They have their chemistry. They know each other best because, well, they're brothers. For crying out loud, they are brothers. And I'm like, I have faith in them. And I read some articles that Jeff Hardy's like, I'm going to outperform Shane McMahon and what he did at WrestleMania 32. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, that actually piqued my interest. So when this match was coming on, I'm like, ooh, here we go. Because the Mike Bennett EC3 match kind of slowly put me to sleep. Was putting me to sleep. And then I see Matt Hardy. I'm like, oh, here we go. It's time. I was waking up. They didn't do anything impressive. And stuff that I wanted them to do, like when they had the long steel ladder to go one side of the ring to the other. That looked cool and all. I have a different ending that I would have done that probably would have tied, if not topped, Shane. Jeff Hardy had gone to the top rope. They had the ladder sprung across. I'm like, Swanton, Swanton, Swanton. Splash. I'm like, well, not Swanton. And then he goes for a Swanton, knees up. I'm like, what the fuck? Made no sense. The ending of the match was, I was disappointed in Jeff Hardy. I was disappointed in him. I was disappointed in this match because I had high hopes for this match, and then it just let me down like that. First off, the powerbomb on the piano deal or keyboard deal, whatever you want to call it, it didn't break until it hit the floor. Now, if it would have put Hardy through it and the keyboard would have broken all that, I would have been like, oh, sweet, cool. Because, like, a piano's never used in the match. And the fact that it was brought out, I'm like, it's kind of cool, I guess. But it's disappointed. So, some of the moves didn't connect really fully, and I'm just like, fuck, man, they could do better than this. And then Hardy went on the top rope, swanton bomb, off the top rope, through a table, and that's the ending. I'm like, what the fuck, Jeff? And I'm like, no, Jeff, no, you're supposed to top Shane McMahon. You're not supposed to do that. The dive that you did that made Matt Hardy to a broken guy, that came close to topping Shane. But did not. No, that was better than this. That I Quit match is better than this. I only saw the ending of that. Just keeping you in mind. So I was disappointed. And you want to know the scary thing? The tag match that happened before the main event was actually decent. The bromance against Decay. Because all I knew about the bromance was like, okay, well, Robbie does this, Jesse does the Adonis Crab, Jesse's strong and everything. But no, like, they showed that they had the ability. I didn't say they were a bad wrestler. I'm just like, these guys haven't shown their ability to me. I'm not impressed. I was impressed with the bromance tonight. I actually was. They didn't win, but the tag match was actually okay. It's a pass for me on the tag team match. That was the second best match of the night to me. That's me being honest here. I'm sorry if you guys are like, oh, well, this match was good. No, dude, like, the X Division match in the night, yeah, I agree with you there. But the Full Metal Mayhem match was great and all that. And I'm like, no, dude, I wasn't impressed. I was not impressed. The tag match, that gave me a passing grade because I'm like, okay, well, I can't really expect a whole lot, and they actually exceeded my expectations for the tag title match, which was okay. And then the main event. Oh boy, the main event. Now, did that remind me of something? What did that remind me of? That reminded me of the main event of WrestleMania 25. And sorry for another comparison, but the beginning few minutes of the match, gotta think. Galloway hits the Clayboy kick at the beginning. Then Lashley hits a spear shortly afterwards. It ends with Galloway gonna go for a Clayboy. Lashley hits a right hand and then chokes him out. And that's it. That's how your main event's gonna end. I mean, granted, the thing was knockout, tap out, or whatever, you know, that's all fine and good, but a right hand? Now, if I would have saw brass knuckles, I would have understood that, but a right hand? Just a regular old right hand, no brass knuckles, nothing? Come on, man. Come on. I was disappointed. The match was okay, but I was disappointed. Overall, this is where I'm done being nice. The show sucked. The show sucked. The X Division match, great. The tag match, passable. Everything else, I was not impressed. And I went there with an open mind. And before you say, oh, he's a WWE fanboy, let me give you a little history lesson, right? I started watching TNA when I saw Kurt Angle on there. Oh, typical WWE fanboy. No, because I was flipping through the channels one day. And this is when Kurt Angle came in. This is 2006. So I was not even 10. I was 8. I was 8 years old. So I've been watching TNA for 9 years at this point. 9, 10 years. Something like that. I saw Kurt Angle and I saw a ring. I'm like, oh, this is wrestling. I'm like, cool, I'll watch it. Because it's my love for professional wrestling. All this time I've been watching WWE on Mondays and Fridays. TNA's on Thursdays. Raw, TNA, SmackDown. Raw, TNA, SmackDown. And I loved both. As a child, I loved both. With a passion. Why? Because I liked wrestling. I didn't even know there were any of these other wrestling organizations like Ring of Honor, PWG, CCW, CMLL, New Japan Pro Wrestling. All these different promotions I didn't even recognize. I didn't even know these things were real until my eyes started to open up when NXT came around and all these talent came. And I looked at their history. I'm like, oh, Japan has wrestling. I'm like, okay. And then my friend Scott opens me up with Lucha Underground. I'm like, oh. And he tells me how Lucha Underground is. I'm like, oh, cool. That's actually pretty cool. That they have different seasons and all that stuff. And that's all fine and good. CZW is like the hardcore ECW. But like, door hardcore. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And I look at these and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. But my main two were WWE, TNA. And then Spike dropped them. And I was sad. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Until I found a way to watch TNA on Destination America. And I'm like, sweet. I'm like, alright, I'll watch TNA. 4 months after Destination America came around, I get the news that, oh, they're dropping them. And at that very moment, that is when I started to give up on TNA. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, something's wrong with them. Something's going on. What the fuck's going on? And then they slowly get worse and worse and worse. Bound for Glory 2015, I heard was actually really good. So I'm like, okay, cool, nice. And then they started to get bad. They gave Matt Hardy the win, but then they had to make a vacate the title. What really got me to really give up on TNA was when they pulled the bullshit on Matt Hardy like they did before his heel run. He won the world title. Had that moment with his son, Maxwell, his wife, Rebby, their father, I believe is who he was. Father or grandfather. I'm pretty sure his father in the ring. Both brothers in the ring. All that. It was a great moment. You know, Matt Hardy finally winning a world heavyweight championship. A major world heavyweight championship. And I'm like, awesome. Matt Hardy did it. I'm like, I'm happy for him. And I thought Drew Galloway was going to get it. But I'm like, no, I'm wrong. Matt Hardy got it. And I'm like, awesome. Cool. And then I I look on YouTube because I'm subscribed to TNA's YouTube channel. That might change. EC3's like, I found him Junction. I'm like, oh great. I'm like, okay, he's being a dick. I'm like, the guy's being an asshole. And I'm like, okay, well. And let me point out something real quick. EC3 is the John Cena of TNA. And I'm going to give a couple of reasons why after I get done with the story. EC3 files an injunction. Matt Hardy vacates the belt. Who wins the belt? EC3. He bitches and moans when he doesn't get his way, and he files an injunction, and then gets the world title back magically all of a sudden. He takes a DDT on the steel from Mike Bennett, comes back and wins the match. Now, what does that remind me of? Not naming names, but Cena Nexus. Again, I'm trying not to do comparisons, but you know what? If I see bullshit that reminds me of WWE, I'm going to be like, you pull the same bullshit. Don't come to me saying you're better, because you're not. That's what really made me just like, you know what? Fuck TNA. I'm like, I was done. And then I see these TNA fanboys, and I'm like, oh, TNA's so great. And there's this TNA revolution, whether it's a work or not, I don't really give a fuck. The person that started it is fucking stupid. Sorry, I had to do it right back. They're like, oh, Slammiversary was great. It put on entertaining matches. And I see this 188 Christian Negro post on Facebook. So let me get this straight. People bitch at TNA, but then they bring in Corporate Kane. First off, Corporate Kane actually became entertaining towards the end of his run. And I can see why they kind of bring it back, because they're trying to be like, oh, who's going to run SmackDown? Is it going to be Teddy Long? Is it going to be Corporate Kane, Vicky Guerrero, any of these guys, John Laurinaitis? Who? So that makes sense for that storyline purpose. And then he says, pathetic. WWE fans are pathetic. All WWE fans are pathetic. Hey, Christian, I haven't had a problem with you before. I'm a WWE fan. Fuck you. Fuck you. And here's the thing, right? I didn't have a problem with him. I really don't have a problem with him. But if he tries to name drop me, not really name dropping me, but name dropping people that I'm a part of, you're name dropping me, and here's a fuck you, goodbye. And let's get to Remington. Remington. Every time Scott Keys posts something about WWE, he says, who cares? Pathetic. You're pathetic. Who cares about you? Just because you're a big, bad, muscle guy trying to go to TNA. Good for you. If you do that, good for you. Go work for that worthless promotion because you're a worthless human being. You, TNA fanboys, Poston, Christian Negron, Remington, just to name a few. Granted, I was looking around the TNA Impact comment section. There were people that didn't even watch Slammiversary saying they didn't like it. You know what? That's not right. Those people are the bad WWE fanboys. Those are the cock-sucking John Cena motherfuckers. Those guys, get on to them all you want. They don't watch the pay-per-view. Then why are they the judge? I watched the pay-per-view. You saw me. I had it on my computer. I could show you screenshots because I was on the phone with Scott KCL on Skype for 3 hours and 37 minutes and 52 seconds. I believe that was the exact time. I know it was 3 hours, 37 minutes and something seconds. It was close to 3 hours, 38 minutes, something like that, but that's beside the point. The point is, you TNA bad boys, overhype your shit. Do I say WWE is the greatest promotion in the world, better than Ring of Honor, New Japan, all that? No! Because I know there's good wrestling out there. Ricochet, Will Ospreay, perfect example that I watched that match. Oh my god, I fell in love with those two right away. And on WWE. Kevin Steen, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ring of Honor, best of the world, cross-brand promotion, matchup, or whatever you want to call it. Work of gold. Think about what we have in NXT. And here's the thing, you want to say NXT's all hype and no deliver. Here's the thing. Aries Nakamura delivered. That NXT takeover delivered because it was actually really good wrestling. For one. They didn't have to have crazy table spots to make themselves good. No, it was good themselves. The only thing in question was the Revival winning the NXT tag titles. But you know what? First ever team to win the NXT tag titles 2 times. Fine and good. All fine and good. You TNA fanboys. I'm just gonna tell you like this. TNA sucks. And this is coming from a guy that actually watched the pay-per-view. I have all the proof I need. You saw it on my computer. And I wouldn't put a wrestling show on my computer unless I wanted to watch it. I actually wanted to watch it. I wanted to give it a chance. And I gave it a chance. Fuck you, TNA. Fuck you. I've been a supporter of yours for so many years. But I can finally say, fuck you. Fuck you. You made me give up on yourselves, and I can see why Spike dropped your ass, I can see why Destination America dropped your ass, and you're lucky Pop TV hasn't dropped your ass. EC3 gets all the special treatment because he's the nephew of Dixie Carter's storyline or not. It's ridiculous to me. That's the only way he could get a push anyway, because he wasn't good at WWE. Just a fact of life. Eli Drake. I'm not even going to talk about that stupid King of the Mountain match. Because it was dumb. It was dumb. The ending was stupid. They oversold it in the commentary. And let me talk about the commentary. Oh my god. You, Josh Matthews and the Pope, you two are so goddamn egotistical about your promotion. Worse than WWE commentators. Yeah, they brag about the network. Because that's a great thing that they have. A 90% satisfaction rate. Yes. I watch the WWE Network. I am satisfied. Very satisfied. Because I can watch all sorts of programming on the WWE Network. All pay-per-views from WCW, ECW, WWE. You might see some Raws, you know, here and there. Fix that, WWE. Please, thank you. All this kind of stuff. And it's a great way to make money. Does TNA have their own network? No, they don't. They don't have the TNA network. They don't. Because of you TNA fanboys, I wasted 3 hours of my life watching a crappy pay-per-view. I'm sorry if you thought it was good. And you're not an ass kisser. I'm talking about the ones that are actually like me, that look into the product before they review it. I'm sorry if you like this. I'm sorry. If you like the exhibition match, you know I'm good. I'll go with you on that. Sorry. The show sucked. TNA sucks. TNA needs to die. It's just a fact of life. And you know, I like how Eli Drake is just like, oh, that's the fact of life. Fact of life. The fact of life is that you suck. I am not a fan of Eli Drake as a wrestler. I am not a fan, dude. I'm not a fan. I didn't even know apparently he was in WWE. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't fucking know. I don't care. I don't care. You rip off of WWE so much and you make it worse, TNA. You make it worse. That WrestleMania 25 main event. All great build-up. Great animosity, personal build-up. But the match didn't deliver so much. Not saying they're bad. You know what? Just deliver that match. You want an ODQ match. Why? I have no clue. But you copy stuff from that main event and you make it worse. You make it worse by being desperate enough to put in table spots and all this stuff, and you end off with a right hand, not even with brass knuckles or anything, and then into a choke. You're stupid and pathetic, TNA. I'm glad I don't have anything in this room that represents TNA. Glad I don't. Because if I did, it would all be burning to the ground right now. Just like that company's gonna burn to the ground. You're running out of money, Dixie Carter. You are running out of money. You got kicked out because you couldn't even pay your rent. Now you're in a warehouse, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're in your little TNA production crew and all this stuff and all that great stuff and blah blah blah. TNA's dying. And I know people have been saying for years that TNA is gonna die. TNA is gonna die. It's gonna die eventually. Could be soon. Could be later. I don't care. But you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. The day TNA dies, I'm going to be doing a celebration video. And I'm gonna be laughing. And all you little TNA cocksucking faces. Because you wasted my time with this stupid fucking show. And this is supposed to be what, their second or first biggest show? Bound is like their WrestleMania. Slammiversary is like their, what would it be? Honestly, I would consider Slammiversary their WrestleMania. Because that's their anniversary of when they first got here. 14-year anniversary of when they came alive. And I stuck around through the whole Hogan, Bischoff, Immortal bullshit. I stuck around through all that. But I'm done. You lost all your great talent. And here's the thing. Christian Negron, you are so stupid. You are so far up TNA's ass. Remington, Poston, you guys are so far up TNA's ass. That when AJ Styles, Joe Rude, Aries went to WWE, you stabbed them in the back. So what? They came from TNA. If they came from TNA to WWE, you should be happy for them that they're exploring new adventures to New Japan or to WWE. Even if you don't like the product, you should be like, you know what? They made the choice that they wanted to make. Good for them. Just like Anderson and the Hardy Boys, and all Lashley and Drew McIntyre, all those people that went to TNA. Good for them. I always thought that TNA ripped off and stole, quote unquote, our guys. But obviously they signed them to contracts because they got released from WWE. We all know the story, blah, blah, blah. When they went to TNA, I'm like, okay, they made a decision, and I'm happy for them. Just like apparently these NXT guys went from WWE to TNA, and you know what? They got something going for them. You know, I was thinking it was Marcus Luis and Savoy Fulton, or Sylvester LaForte, that's right. Yeah, those two guys were in NXT, and those guys are the tribunal in TNA. You know? Good for them. They got something going on, you know? They got more attention there than they got in NXT. You know what? Good for them. Good for them. Do I give a fuck about them? No. Do I like them? No. Are they good wrestlers? Hell no. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not. And Al Snow looks like a bitch. And I actually like Al Snow. Liked, anyways. Not that much of a fan of him right now. He acts like a little child. He freaking cried like a bitch just for winning a tag match. Like, a world title or any title for that matter, I could semi-understand, especially if it's like your first title with TNA, but you weren't even in the match. God. TNA fanboys. I can't believe you're actually supporting this product over WWE, because I actually would prefer a soap opera story that's so goddamn awful than this fucking pay-per-view. Really. And I looked at the pay-per-view. And I ranted so many times on WWE and how shit the Raws have been. Raws have actually been pretty decent. Since Mania, they've kicked up their game. And you think I'm being biased? No. I've looked at the Raws. I've been to the Raw of Mania. I've watched Raw on TV afterwards. I haven't had that many complaints. The only little complaint that I had wasn't even with the Raw. It was with them naming Roman Reigns' catchphrase the #1 catchphrase in the past decade. Like, vague. You realize the decade's 10 years, right? Granted, we're not going to see a whole lot of, like, Stone Cold and The Rocks, but, you know, they were there. But, the only bad Raw that in my opinion, the only bad Raw was last week. Since Mania, the only bad Raw has been last week. Payback? Yeah, Payback. Oh, shit. I blame the Divas match, or the Women's title match, because the Montreal Screwjob. Fuck that. No. God damn it, man. I don't know what else the fuck to say. I gave him a chance. Those of you that saw the live reactions live, you told me, you heard me say, because of the TNA bitches, the TNA cocksuckers, I don't even call them fanboys anymore, I'm calling them fangos, cocksuckers, cum swallowers, all that kind of stuff, that I would download Slammiversary because I found it on YouTube. I'm like, oh, fuck it. And so I downloaded it on my computer, I watched it. That's my rating of it. A big fuck you. So, in closing, guys, hopefully this video goes up. If it don't go up on the shooter, it's damn sure gonna go up on my channel. Because I want this up on a channel. And, you know what? Someone wants to share this with Poston or Remington or Christian, and if they want to make a response, go right a fucking head. I give you guys a shot. I got the pay-per-view, laid my cards on the table, grabbed a soda and relaxed. I'm like, alright, give me a good show. Started off good with the X Division match. That's how it went. So, your response to WJ being biased? No the fuck he wasn't. The guy's smart. Slammiversary was a pile of shit. You know, we might not take his word because it's like, oh, Slammiversary is working on my computer, blah, 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 whatever the story may be, I don't know. But here's the thing. Slammiversary working perfectly fine on my computer. Went perfectly good. All said and done, all ready to go. Had a good night, watched wrestling. Fucking ruined it. You fucking ruined it. So, might as well begin this series that I'm doing on the WWNWS network. It is a fuck you of the day and a shout out of the day. Now, I want to give credit to Unigamer661. No, I'm not repping off his fuck you of the month. But I got to thinking, I'm just like, there's a lot of people I just want to be like, fuck you too. And then there's people I'm like, oh, you're a fucking smart, amazing person. Shout out to you. You know, if you can't just give that out in a month. No, that's not enough. It's not enough this day and age. There's a lot of assholes out there that are like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then there's a lot of people that are like, you know what? You're fucking awesome. You deserve a shout out. And I encourage every member of the WWN WS to do this series. No, it's not to spread drama. If they make a response or whatever to this series, don't worry about it. They can think what they want, whatever. They can go fuck off. The majority of these people will probably not get a response from because they're not YouTubers, but some of them are YouTubers, so you never know. No, I'm not trying to spread drama. I'm not trying to start drama or anything. You know what? If they even try to make a response to me, with the exception of this, because I'm like, if you want to make a response for the review I did, fine, whatever. All fine and good. Don't care. Don't give a fuck. I stand by my opinion. I stand by what I say. And I stand by this. Let's start with the shout out of the day. Shout out of the days. Shout out to the day. WJ! Here's why. He warned me. I didn't even watch his video review. He warned me by his title of this video, saying Slammiversary was shit and garbage and fucking boring. I should have listened. I should have taken his word for it and not even looked at it. So WJ, thank you for warning me. And then my fuck yous of the day. Fuck you, Remington Blake Williams. Stinger, something William or whatever. Fuck you, Christian Negron. You TNA cock-sucking prick. And fuck you to Poston. Because WrestleMania 32 was better than Slammiversary. Because their matches, while the booking at question, their matches were good. Except for the New Day League of Nations, but you know what, moment after afterwards, you know, whatever. The ladder match opening of the show was great. AJ Styles Jericho, great. Shane and Taker, great. That's already more matches than what were good at Slammiversary. So therefore, WrestleMania 32 was, is, and always will be better than TNA Slammiversary 2016. Fact of life. I'm going to use that from now on. I am. Thanks to Eli Drake for that. And big fuck you to you too. Because use fact of life like you know the facts and the ways of life. You don't. Your catchphrases are so goddamn awful, dude. Awful. The last time I'm going to say this, though, I'm not going to fucking use that fact of life bullshit. The last time I'm going to say it. The fact of life is this. You know what? Just because of being, I want to be more of an asshole, let's look at stuff and see what's more entertaining, shall we? Let me just, let's see, this, IC Championship belt, more entertaining to look at than watching Slammiversary. Okay, what else? Let's see, let me get something real good right here that means a lot to me. This picture of Bray Wyatt, because I met Bray Wyatt. This WrestleMania ticket right here, more entertaining to look at. I remember that day than watching TNA Slammiversary. Let's see. Let me show you something right here real quick. See, I have this, freaking handprint on my wall. Just gave you guys more entertainment than Slammiversary. What else? Let me see. Oh, give me Sadie, baby. It's my dog, Sadie. More entertaining to deal with her than watching Slammiversary. Let's see. This one little thing right here, I want to say so badly. I want to say so badly because I'm so tempted to. Fuck it. John Cena's promos are better than Slammiversary. There! I said it! Shoot me now! Watching one of his promos, watching one of his matches is better than Slammiversary. There, I said it. And you know how much I don't like Cena and him being shoved down our fucking throats with a passion. Hell, Roman Reigns' catchphrase, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm the guy. That's better than Slammiversary. Anything is better than Slammiversary. Anything and everything. Everything is better than Slammiversary. Everything. TNA fuckboys, TNA fangirls, cocksuckers, cum swallowers. If we could cock jerking TNA fans. Gotta get ready for this, you know? Get ready for this. Fuck you!